reasons why we do what we do, guys. When you get an opportunity like that, you've got to learn to take advantage, and you did. It's been tough, it's been hard, it's not been simple. I promise you, it has not. But you persevered, you've done what people didn't think you could do, and it's just the start of who we can be. Okay, this is just the first step. Don't let it end. Keep working at it, keep getting better, and keep becoming the team I believe we can be. Okay? All right, here we go, team all.
Hey, real quick. We know we've been through a long season. When we look at our leader, Coach Rivera, I think he's a testament of what it means to grit, grind, and get through this. From Dan Snyder, the owner, he personally wanted to say this is a game ball for taking us to the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long.
I appreciate that. I really truly do, man. But I'm telling you guys, it's about who you guys are.
Was it pretty? Nope. Does it matter? Not really. The NFC division title belongs to the Washington football team for the first time in 5 years. Pop the fresh fine wine. I'm Jade Kenny, and joining me is Stephanie Jokin and Jean Samuels, and this is The Wow, and it's going to be a good one. We are playoff bound, baby.
Yes, we are playoff bound, #1 in the NFC East, and it feels so good. Plus, coming up later on our WOW home field, Julie Donaldson, Washington Senior Vice President of Media and Content. This interview is pure gold from beginning to end, so you definitely want to stick around for that.
It really is. I had chills the whole time. Plus, we're going to take full advantage of having Julie on and preview the Bucs game with her in segment 2. So make sure you hang around for that. But first, let's quickly talk about this win and what it means. Coach Ron Rivera said when he took this job, he wasn't here to win right away. Give me 2 to 3 years to get things moving in the right direction. Look at us now. He saw a chance to make the playoff run, the division run, and he went for it.
Yeah, and not only did he go for it, but he crushed it, right? I mean, we're all excited, obviously, so much energy in the area. We're literally, I think the last team to go to the playoffs with a losing record was in 2014 with the Carolina Panthers, coached by Coach Rivera. So he brought that winning spirit here with us. So we're really excited. And plus, we've said it literally all season long that we've got to start off strong. And we did. We hadn't scored on the opening drive all season, but we did it this game with the pass to McLaurin. And I think that really set the tone for the rest of the game.
It did. I was watching the game with my son, Maxwell, and he's looking and he's like, Mom, we might score on the opening drive. And he's 10, but he's like, we haven't done that in a while. I'm like, oh, thank you, sportscaster Max. I'm like, good grief. But it was amazing. I think, when we talk with Julie later, she talks about this young team. And as Rivera said, this is just the start of who we are. I swear that runs in parallel with our company, our team, our year is fantastic. And to just clinch a playoff spot just made it even better. It's like the cherry on top of the whipped cream, on top of the ice cream. Like, it's amazing. And we're going to be talking about it, as you know, Janine, more in our virtual rally later. But I do have to say, I want to give some props to Montez Sweat, just for Fred Smoot, because that is his dog. He says he does a lot of work. He had a lot of great things he did this last game with a sack and making a play. So let's just hope that Montez Sweat has another big game so that Fred can say all that he wants to during the rally.
And also, like you said, this has been like a put the cherry on top season. And I was listening to a couple of things this week. And when Chase Young at the combine, before he was drafted, made a comment that the quarterback he would love to sack is Tom Brady. I mean, if you can't do a full circle with that comment, and it's just like you manifested this, and here we are. And I think what's so cool about
vision boarding at its best.
Exactly.
Right? Vision boarding.
Hinted on this vision board and we are here. But I think what's so cool is what this means. I mean, the game wasn't great by any means, but who cares? A win's a win. We're moving on to the next stage. And I think what's really cool is what this means for the future of the team. There's a ton of young guys. There's a lot of young talent and weapons out there on that field. And the experience in playing a playoff game against a quarterback like Tom Brady, I mean, you can't ask for more of a learning experience to really set us up for the future. And I just also want to say how cool it is for players like Ryan Kerrigan, Morgan Moses, Sundberg, Payne, Allen, guys that have just been around for the last couple of years, just to give them this, It was a full team earned win. I mean, they didn't just get handed this, they've earned it this season through all the hardship. And I'm just like, what a storybook ending. I love it.
Definitely. And storybook for Alex Smith. I just have to say, I mean, yeah, great. He did a great job with playing through the pain. I mean, you could see that he was in pain, but he pushed through and he wanted to get this win for us, and it happened. And so just shout out to him. You know, like you said, it wasn't pretty all the way through from beginning to end, but at the end of the day, we got the W, and that's what matters. So shout out to Alex for sure.
That's right. More to come on the matchup against the Buccaneers that's happening this Saturday at FedEx Field. But do you have a question for the NFC East Division champs? If so, send a message to Wow Washington on all of our social media accounts. If you're following along here on YouTube, comment below any questions you have, and we will have them answered right here for you on the Wow. The interview with Julie is coming up next. Check it out.
Has your business been affected by COVID-19? Have you considered reducing or moving your office space? Then it's time to call Victory Van. We provide the best service and price with flexible options for your company's moving and storage needs. Visit victoryvan.com to get your free moving and storage quote today. For corporate storage and moving, it's always the right move to choose Victory Van. That's victoryvan.com, Victory Van Corporation, delivering excellence for 75 years and proud partner of the Washington football team.
Finch Services Incorporated, recognized in its industry as a world-class organization, is the exclusive supplier of John Deere golf and sports turf maintenance equipment for the Mid-Atlantic region. In business since 1945, Finch helps golf course and sports turf managers maintain some of the most exclusive playing surfaces in the region. Experience the Finch advantage for yourself. Contact one of our golf and sports turf sales specialists to see how we can help you maintain your field of dreams. Go to finchturf.com for more information.
At RTS, game day strategy doesn't stop when the whistle blows. RTS delivers smarter, more responsible waste and recycling services. As an official partner of the Washington football team, RTS is connecting the team and FedEx Field with sustainable solutions to care for the community and the environment. RTS, a better waste company. Find out more at rts.com.
Welcome to Wild Home Field, brought to you by Fresh Fine Wine. We are so excited to have joining us Washington's Senior Vice President of Media and Content and our friend, Julie Donaldson. This is Julie's first season with the Washington football team, and what a season it has been. In her role, she oversees the entire broadcast operation, along with being a permanent member of the Game Day radio broadcast, not to mention the first female regular on-air member of an NFL radio broadcast booth. Prior to taking on this role, she had a decade-long tenure as a reporter, anchor, and host for NBC Sports Washington. Oh, and she was recently named one of the most influential women in sports by Sports Illustrated. Julie, I don't know how you do it all with such grace. When do you sleep?
I was just about to say, as you're going through that, I realized, man, I'm a busy lady. I really am, though. It's there's no such thing as work-life balance right now. For me, it's basically all work. This is not a complaint. I really wouldn't have it any other way, especially as we head into the playoffs. And there's so much good content that we have to make sure we give to our fans during a year that they're disconnected from this team. So I'm really enjoying it, but sleep it's hard to come by these days.
And you mentioned playoffs. So speaking about that, when you took on this job, what did you think was going to happen in your first year here in Washington, and what really happened?
Nothing that I thought would happen would, although I've covered this team long enough to understand that there's never a shortage on storylines with it. So not necessarily knowing what those would entirely be, knowing that coming in, there was some uncertainty at quarterback, that there needed to be some growth with Dwayne Haskins Jr. So I anticipated a little bit of the quarterbacks going on and what was going to happen with Alex Smith, but I never thought Alex would actually get out there and be playing at the level that he's at. Leading this team and this offense to the postseason, I don't believe we would have been at this point should it not have been for the heroics and what Alex Smith brings to this team as that veteran with his leadership as well. So no, I am not where I thought I would be to begin last year, to begin this job. I did not think that this team would be in the postseason. I didn't think that it was going to be wins or losses that determined the success of this season. I thought it was going to be the growth of the players. Coach Rivera coming in and really evaluating where this team's at, what he has, because he came here because he liked the youth of this team. But to understand what you have in that youth, you have to give them the opportunities to go out there and play, make mistakes, and learn from them. So I thought that was going to be the measure of success. Getting to the playoffs, the way the division went down, is definitely a bonus, and we're all riding the high of it right now.
Yeah. Most definitely riding the high for sure. Everyone is really excited, and you're right. It's all about growth. It was a young team that we were able to build and grow upon. And so the future looks really bright for us as well. and kind of thinking about like where you are now and where you started. Talk a little bit about that journey. Talk about your first, job in this career and how you were able to now be where you are currently. Definitely a journey.
Yeah, it has, and I think that's really important to remember, because when you start out in this business, you have really big dreams. And you aim for them, you go for them. You like, at least in my mind, I was like, why not? Like, let's just go all out for it. But then I think at times you have to realize is, the dreams may not necessarily come as you thought. They don't come as quickly as you thought, or maybe they're a little bit unattainable. I mean, I thought I'd be on the Today Show, like that's what I wanted. Like, why not? And I didn't really see why I couldn't have had that. But as life does happen, as things do come towards you, I think you have to realize that it is a journey. And every step along the way has been really rewarding, has been valuable, has been fun. And then or else if it's something that didn't necessarily turn out well and it was a difficult time, you learn from it. Even Coach Rivera was saying a lot now about, will you regret some of the decisions you made that resulted in losses? And he said, no, because it's either you win or you learn. And I've definitely taken that approach in my life when I didn't necessarily get the job that I wanted or the advancement that I wanted, because I've been very close to a lot of really great things in life. At times you could easily get down over that. And instead I said, okay, like that's not the right way to approach this. And that's not going to help me be happy in my day where I'm at. So let's learn from that. Let's enjoy where we are. So I've had a lot of great steps. I started in Miami. I worked a lot of jobs around the clock just to try and make ends meet, to try and be able to live the dream. I got a job in New York City, probably before I even understood how hard this business was, but you sink or you swim, and I think I was treading water at the end, which was a success to me. And then I went to Boston and took a little time out in life, had to readjust to where things were and got the job in DC. And I'm blessed to have been here for 10 years. I've done a lot of different things, covered every sport in this team or in this town, and really kind of honed in on the football team. And it all prepared me to be in this job, to be well versed in this job, and to hopefully kick butt in this job too. And I would have gone the other way, but
kicking butt and taking names. You're doing it.
Yes. I love that.
It's like, how do you put 20 years into 2 minutes or less?
Right. You did it. So not only are you in front of the camera, but like we were talking about, you are building the content, the chemistry on all of our shows. How challenging was it to build the chemistry with DeAngelo and Bram in the Washington play-by-play booth, or did it come natural for you guys?
It was cool because it was the first time I ever got to hire people. And I feel like because I've had 20 plus years experience in this business, I have a very good understanding of talent and a very good judge of character when it comes to people. And that was the biggest thing, is I wanted guys that were going to really be on this journey with me and fully support me. And we know, look, I mean, that doesn't always happen. A lot of times you could get somebody that wants your job. So, while they may support you, they could constantly maybe be working, behind you as well. And guys that want to kind of show up that, hey, I've got this bravado and I know everything. So it was really important for me to make sure that I got the right guys that said, we're in this together. We're equals, we're partners. And I wanted guys that I know I could trust. So, they were both really, really grateful for the opportunities. It's part of their dreams as well, and I thought that was cool. So it's something that, it's taken a little bit to kind of understand whose voice comes where and when, and to balance all of that out. But I feel like we connected pretty early on, and then it was just kind of a matter of fine-tuning things. And we're still working on that. I mean, think about it. We're one season in, I kind of can't wait to see how well we go into next season when we're just ready to go. I mean, we've been calling games off the television. And if we can do that, it's only going to get better from here on out.
I like it's kind of how we talk about sending the elevator back down, ladies. But she's doing it for her colleagues, not just for women, but, the whole group of people that she works with. And I think that you're cognizant of helping others achieve those dreams is amazing. So.
Yeah, and even within, everybody else that we have a pretty good staff here. I got like 21 people working for us, and there's a lot of others that I had to hire for the pre and post game shows as well. And I think the biggest thing too is trying to find out like what do they want to do? How can we empower them? Even like Stevie Katz, who puts this together. It's like, what do you want to do? Like, how can we help you? Come together to learn more, to do more, to be confident in that and take those next steps. And, I will never forget how hungry and ambitious I was as a young woman in this business and how insecure I felt, but yet I just kept going for it. And so if somebody can reach that hand down and say, hey, let me help you, how much quicker I might have been able to get to what I really wanted to do, how much better I would have been if somebody would have helped me out in those lines. And, I was kind of somebody that just kind of forged through on her own because I was very adamant in what I wanted to do and being, very passionate about my dreams. So I don't think I'll ever lose that. And if I do, all of you guys have a right to check me on it too.
I'm going to vouch for you. I remember when they announced you took the job, I shot you an email once we had our first meeting with you, because as someone who grew up in the area and I went to SEC school just like you, did pageants just like you, was in sports reporting, lived in the area. I idolized you in this market. And I was stoked to have you over here and send you a note, just be like, this organization needs you. And it's just been so fun to be under you and watch everything that you're doing, and especially for the WOW. But along those lines, I want to ask you, the regular season's come to a close. What are you most proud of in terms of the change that you have seen in the organization, and what more do you want to see?
This is kind of easy for me. I came in at a really, really difficult time. We were just learning how bad the culture was, how mistreated women, and I think even beyond that, a lot of the men were in this organization, and how they were kind of starved for healing and for recognition and for appreciation. And, we came together very quickly and put together this, what we call it, the Women's Initiative Network, which Stephanie was right there with us at the beginnings of this. And, to have that first meeting, the leadership meeting, my first week on the job, like what, Stephanie, I think it was 4 days in. And then the next week to have all the women join and have 55 women on that call. And I get goosebumps right now because the emotions were so real. And so raw, and there was a certain desperation for feeling connection with each other through these trying times, and to see where these women are now, and to feel kind of like this heavy weight was lifted off of them, and to be able to know that they're seen, they're recognized, they're appreciated, and they have a network now to lean on each other. They have a community to communicate with each other, especially during this time of COVID where we're so separate and people are working from home. It can be hard. It can be really, really hard. And so to have to deal with all these emotions on your own on top of that, and we've provided a safe place and a community for that, and to see the celebration, to see the fun, to see the laughs, to see the support, to me that's powerful. And I can't wait to see where we take it even going further, because it's part of that growth too. There are so many women here that are capable of doing more. They just need those opportunities, and that group is helping provide that as well. So that's kind of an easy one for me.
Yeah, and you talk about that, it's the community that matters. And definitely the culture within this organization is warm, it's empowering, it's just great to be a part of. And even within the Black Engagement Network, we have that community. And when you have people there that are going to support you and help you in the sense of, this is what I went through, let me ensure that you don't have to go through what I went through. And so
it's important for people to know they're not alone, that their emotions are not, they're not alone in those emotions, that others are having the exact same experience in their own little world. And that when you think you're alone, like anything and everything can come in and attack you. But when you realize you're not, I just think that there's power in that, and we're never alone. Your thoughts are never just your own. Other people share that, but I think we have to be able to be open and feel safe to share that as well.
Yeah, most definitely. And when you talked about it earlier, it's not about winning and losing, it's about winning and learning. And when you can take those experiences and sharing those with other people. So can you think back to something that maybe you considered a failure or something negative that happened to you that you were then able to push through in a positive way and learn from, and then help other people kind of get through that as well?
I mean, the biggest one for me was kind of, in my personal life, but how it impacted my professional life as well. I was going through a divorce, and my world was just upside down. It was the first divorce in my family ever, between grandparents, aunts, uncles, and it took it really hard. I didn't know how to handle it. I was not prepared to handle it. And in came the wrong man that I thought was support, and he took advantage of my vulnerabilities. He took advantage of my weakness. And it became a situation that became abusive, to the point where he went and spent 2 years in jail for what he did to me, and I spent the night in the hospital and, eventually lost my job for 1.5 years because of that, because I didn't know how to get myself back together. But I was blessed to have a family that supported me and just let me take my time. I went to counseling. I went to my church and understood what my faith meant to me, and got myself back and cleaned out everything that was in that ugly closet and said, okay, this is who I am. This is my value. This is my dream. And I'm not going to let somebody steal it from me. And so I was determined to say, no, like nobody else is going to have a say in who I am and what I'm going to do. I will. And I got that other opportunity. And I think people love to celebrate a comeback story of somebody who goes through a trial and a fire and says, you know what, you come out on the other side better and stronger. And I don't believe I went through that for a reason. I think that that's just an excuse to justify what you go through. But here's the thing, I do believe you can make good on everything you do experience in life. And I do believe that God can do that. And so here is something that I went through that was the worst, darkest points of my life. That was a failure on all levels. And it's being made good. Because I have that compassion, that empathy for somebody that's been mistreated. I have that understanding of what it's like to be overseen, overlooked, and not given the opportunity that's fair and just. And so because of that, I do believe it makes me a better person and leader position to be a manager in this franchise, to be somebody who understands what it's like to fight for the job, for your passion. And that's what we do in this business. We're here because it's a passion of ours. And there are challenges that come to us every day that we have to overcome because we're living out that passion. So to me, that's like an example of how life can have you so down and out and you think it's over and you don't understand why you should get out of bed, to something that says, you know what, this is powerful. And I can help a lot of people because of the situation that I'm in and because I didn't let somebody else define me.
Yeah, and you're willing to share your story. Like empowered people empower others. And we've been on WOW events where you've openly shared your story, and it helps other people understand and know that even though they're down and out, and even though they might be going through something tough, if Julie can do it, then I can do it too. So
and there were many days where I didn't think I could. There were a lot of days, a lot of months, a lot of years where I didn't think I could do it. But I knew well enough that what faith can do, just the tiniest little bit, how it can grow, and you start to see that light and you're like, okay, I want more of that, because this darkness is angry, it's frustrating, it's ugly, like it just doesn't make you feel good. And you kind of just start taking those little baby steps, and you don't have to do it all at once. You just slowly move towards that. And here's the thing, because I cleaned out all of the crap, and I continue to do that, I don't let things build up, pile up. I know how to handle, challenges that come my way, because I take the time to learn those lessons, is why I can share it, because it doesn't impact me anymore like it used to. And if I hadn't done that work, I couldn't share it, because it would still be something that would be eating up at me and getting to me. And I didn't want that anymore. I didn't want to live with that. So I'm glad. If it can help one person, then that's enough, because, one life matters.
Mm-hmm.
We're all sitting here just like nodding our head.
Yeah.
We're just like, give all of this to me. Julie, before we let you go, I want to take full advantage of having your expertise here. We got to talk quickly about the game that's coming up. What do you think are the keys to winning this game against Brady and the Bucs? I mean, we've heard Chase Young chant, he wants Brady. What do you think we got to do to get him?
Well, look, here's the thing. I don't believe, people are saying that give Tom Brady bulletin board material. Tom is a pro. He doesn't need more bulletin board material. He doesn't need that at all. Will they have some fun with it, I'm sure, in Tampa? Yeah, I'm sure they will. Look, Tom doesn't like the pressure. He's going to have to be under pressure if we are going to be able to win this team. But I don't think it's necessarily going to have to come from Chase Young or Montez Sweat off of the edges. It's going to be that pressure right up the middle on him. He doesn't like getting in his face. So this is a game where you're going to have to really see what happens with John Allen, Daron Payne, Tim Settle. Those guys, how can they get to him from the interior side? This is where we probably wish we would have had like a Matt Ioannidis out there. He was really great at this. But we're really going to be testing him on that. Put him under pressure as well because he's got some great receivers. So our secondary is going to have to be locked down, be ready for those picks. And, you know, it's going to have to be some turnovers because they can put up some pretty good numbers on you. But the numbers that they have put up are against teams that have had defenses that are in the bottom 5, 6 of the league, the Falcons, the Lions, the Vikings. So in the teams that have had really good defenses, they haven't scored as much. So that's going to be a part where we're really going to have to lock down on defense. But look, that's where this team is built. On the other side of the ball, look, Alex Smith out there, we saw like it was a little bit of a struggle when he was under pressure to protect himself. He just wasn't able to do that. So that O-line is going to have to go to serious work because they have the ability to pressure the quarterback. They're one of the best in the league, top 3. They don't have one of their guys that can really get to you, Devin White, because he tested positive for COVID. So I think that's a little bit of a break, but they still can get at you. So, you know, whatever quarterback's back there, Alex Smith has got to get that ball out quickly. Should we have to go to Taylor Heineke? He's got to be able to probably use his legs more in those situations and just take care of the ball. Don't turn it over. So it's going to be a tough out, but I really do like Washington in this game. You know, and I don't say that all the time, but I really kind of feel good about what we can do.
I'm right there with you. It's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm very jealous that you get to see it firsthand, but have a great game Saturday. And thank you so much for joining the Wild. It's been awesome to have you here.
I know, I wish fans could be there. You know, we have to do it safe. We have to follow the state and the county guidelines. And because of that, fans aren't going to be allowed. We're allowed to let the families in, but we only have a certain number that can come with that. So I wish all of you ladies could be there, but next year, because there's going to be some great wins to celebrate next year. And hopefully, though, this isn't the final game of the season. We want at least one more.
Yep, go
That
watch.
would be amazing.
Thanks, ladies.
A new decade demands a new kind of wine. As consumers continue to embrace healthier lifestyles with beverages that taste great and keep in line with their dietary preferences, and wine is no exception. Fresh Vine Wine thoughtfully crafts great tasting premium wines that are low calorie, low carb, low sugar, keto, vegan friendly, and gluten free. Fresh Vine Wines pairs perfectly with your active lifestyle without sacrificing on taste. Available in select stores in DC and Maryland.
You can hear every Washington football team game on the Team 980 and streaming on the radio.com app. Listen to Team 980 every day for expert analysis, Washington football guests, and your calls along with hosts Kevin Sheehan, Washington football legend Brian Mitchell, Steve Zabin, and more on the official radio of home of the Washington football team. Download the radio.com app and favorite the Team 980 today to listen on your phone or smart speaker. This winter, be confident in a rugged all-wheel drive Honda SUV. Take control with the reliable CR-V, the versatile HR-V, the 8-passenger Pilot, or the adventurous Passport. With features like Honda Sensing, magic folding seats, and 3 different driving modes. Now is the best time to buy. Don't miss your chance to get a great deal on your favorite Honda SUV. See your local Honda dealer and take on winter today. We are heading into WOW Overtime, and I just want to comment on something that Julie said. You said it a couple times, and it just really stuck with me, and I think it originally came from Coach Ron Rivera, to give him credit, but on this win and learn, not necessarily win and lose, and I think win and losses, and I think it's just such an important thing to think about, important thing to put on your vision board, is to just, it might be a loss, but what did you learn from it? How have you grown from it? And that is something that we've seen through this team, through the organization as a whole this season, is the growth that we've seen. And you can take that and put that into your everyday life. And it's a new year, 2021 vision, and talking about the growth that you can have professionally and personally. So I want to open up overtime with that.
Yeah, and so really quick, an experience that I had with my family. So we've started a new tradition on New Year's Day that we get together and we create vision boards. So here's mine for 2021. And one of the very first exercises that I have family go through is to give, write down your triumphs, things that went well the prior year, and then things that you want to work on. So some things that you maybe want to improve and think about and learn from. It's with this whole concept of, win and learn. And then you take the list of the things that maybe you could do better and create your goals for the upcoming year. So it really is learning from the prior year to set your intention and your goals for the next year. And it's a great exercise for everyone to go through. And it doesn't have to be every year. It could literally be every quarter, every month, every week.
Well, I think we're going to be doing that with WOW. So, and I'm going to definitely have you head that up like you did last year. So we will be doing set our intention. I'm all about that. I'm all about the win and learn. So I think the perspective that Julie gave during the interview for me was, you might not get something that you want, but what did you learn from it? What can you learn from it? And so I think, as you said, not only is our team, are we all going through that, but that's a great lesson for you. So I'm going to figure out how to vision board that as well, Julie.
I got you.
Yeah, I've never done one, so I'll do my first one this year with WOW.
Okay, cool.
Save my first one for that. And I also loved how Julie had the concept about not having excuses. I love that. I think you take everything that happens to you and you flip it. And I just love that she made that comment. Before we wrap this up, I'm going to shoot it over to Stephanie to plug our rallies. I know we had a really good one after the playoff one.
Oh my gosh. We had over 1,400 fans come in from all over the world, from Chile, Mexico. I mean, we have so many displaced loyal fans. It's amazing. Our next one is going to be, of course, before the playoff game, and it will be at 6:15 Eastern Standard Time, since people are coming from all over. And yeah, Janine is our amazing co-host, along with Fred Smoot. We've got other alumni lined up, so it'll be a surprise. And we look forward to seeing everybody. We'll be pushing out that Zoom link that day, so be ready.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys. We laugh and we just have so much fun. So be sure to join us and listen to Fred Smoot. He's a hoot.
Yeah.
He's a
That's our new chant.
Share that one with them.
Like it's correct. That's going to do it for us. It's been a fun one. Thanks so much for joining the WOW Connecting and Empowering Women Through Sports, brought to you by our amazing partners, Fresh Fine Wine. Go get that win.
For more than 100 years, Chesapeake Employers Insurance has been helping Maryland businesses keep their workers safe. With competitive pricing and an AM Best A- financial strength rating, it's no surprise that Chesapeake Employers is Maryland's largest writer of workers' comp insurance.
At the end of every workday, someone's waiting for your safe return.
Connect with your agent or visit CEIWC.com.
Reliable power from Novec keeps us connected to so many good things. Life-saving equipment and life-affirming moments depend on reliable, safe electricity that keeps us plugged in and powered up. And as a not-for-profit cooperative owned by the people it serves, Novec keeps rates low and service high. Novec, keeping life bright.
Hey, Mid-Atlantic, it's me, Winter. Just a heads up, I'm gonna ice and snow all week, but if you're driving a Honda, you'll be fine. And right now, your local Honda dealer has big deals on the entire all-wheel drive Honda lineup. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Passport, and more. With real-time all-wheel drive and all the safety features included with Honda Sensing, like a collision mitigation braking system and adaptive cruise control. Oh, and don't forget to turn on your heated seats. It's gonna get cold. Sorry. See your local Honda dealer today.
You start your day with a multivitamin. You get to work and you multitask. You eat a sandwich on multigrain. But maybe there's one multi that you've been missing. Play Multi-Match from the Maryland Lottery. It's an exciting draw game where jackpots start at $500,000 and grow from there. Plus, you get 4 chances to win. And Multi-Match is only played in Maryland. Drawings are every Monday and Thursday. So go ahead, give Multi-Match a try and watch your fun multiply. Please play responsibly.
Not in this Pepsi either. Maybe I need to set the mood.
What is Jim doing?
He heard each can of Pepsi unlocks a Super Bowl halftime experience, so he's been opening Pepsi cans all morning trying to find it.
Shouldn't you tell him he has to, scan the can?
I'm sure he'll catch on.
No halftime experiences in this one either?
Or not. Scan the can and tune in to CBS on February 7th to catch the Pepsi Super Bowl 55 halftime show.